All right, welcome to the local fixture. I'm your host, Jimmy Preston, and I am joined by the lovely and talented Lashonda Lester. How are you, Lashonda?
I'm good, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's been hard to track you down. You've been a busy woman.
I have. You know, they say Detroit hustles harder, so
You
hey,
take the woman out of Detroit, can't take the Detroit out of the woman. Is that what you're saying?
you can't take the hustle out. You can take the Detroit out, because I ain't trying to go to jail.
You've been grinding in the entertainment industry for more than 20 years now.
Yeah, probably longer than that.
And then here in Austin for 11 years. And has it all been stand-up here in Austin?
No, the first few years when I moved here, I was still publishing a magazine. I was publishing two magazines. One was called Austin After Dark, and the other was Virtual Politics. And so that's how, I came here, was to do this magazine. It was sweet. It used to come on a CD, like a little tiny CD, and it was about all the stuff to do in Austin after dark. Because I was like, well, this is before all these apps and stuff came out. And yeah, that's what I did for the first few years. But nobody knew me. Excuse me. So I was just like, well, dang, I got to do something so somebody will be able to find me on Google. And then I decided to try stand up for a couple of months. I was like, I'll see what happens with that. And then, maybe people would be like, oh, you kind of funny. Do you do something else? And then I could just hit them with the magazine, like, bam, look here. Like Funky Finger Productions, remember that?
Right.
And then stand up took off like 6 months after starting. I won my first comedy competition. Kick butt, I'm the reigning kick butt competition champion. I won $500 worth of prizes, so it's a pretty legit contest. It was the only contest they had.
Oh, really? Is it Kick Butt
Kick butt coffee.
Coffee? Is that with Lane?
No, this was before all them kids showed up.
Okay.
This was like 2008, 2009. Like Kick butt hadn't even been open a year.
Okay.
And they did this contest, and I won. Like all kinds of sweet ass prizes. It was great.
So what did that give you? I mean, not overnight notoriety, but mainly confidence to.
I quit. After that, I was like, hey, I have hit the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? I made it. I won the kick butt championship. What else there needs to be done? And I went back to doing marketing and publishing. And a friend of mine, she contacted me and was like, there's this funniest person in Austin contest. You should think about trying that. And I did it. This was like 2009. I signed up. I was the last person. I signed up the last day of the contest. I was the last person of the night. And then I advanced to the semifinals my first year. So, and nobody knew who I was. It was all like, who the hell is Lashonda Lester? Oh, honey, they was talking online and everything.
Now, it's old hat at this point. I mean, you are a comic. I mean, right? Am I right? Can I call you a comic, Lashonda?
Yeah, now I feel comfortable with, being known as a comic. But before I didn't. I was just like, it's just a hobby.
Right.
So I just felt weird about.
Well, for naturally funny people, it's ridiculous to get paid for just being yourself, right?
Yeah, it feels like, any minute they're going to catch me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't feel like a comedian.
So how do you tackle joke writing? I mean, what part of your everyday life gets written down in the notebook?
Not a lot. Usually my jokes come from my personal adventures. So I like to do just these really just off the wall strange things just to see what it would be like and what kind of experience I would have. Like going to alien meetings, with people who say they've been abducted by aliens. Ain't nobody really gonna do that in their everyday life.
Right.
But I was like, this would make for a good joke. I should just go. I mean, not that I'm making fun of the alien people. I believe y'all. But this shit is still funny.
Because they are listening.
Right.
Yeah.
They listening right now. Sorry.
So, life experiences lead to comedy, and
Yeah.
and people are weird. I mean, we were talking before we got in here about how weird people are.
Especially in entertainment.
Yes. Yeah. Most of them are sociopaths.
I thoroughly believe that. Yeah.
And if you're gonna have a sociopath, it's better that they're in the entertainment industry than, say, running a prison or like
the mailman.
The mailman sees you every day. He's opening your mail, or your congressman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a business where you literally have to be a beast. You have to be just someone who has no feelings. It's all about the bottom line. And I'm talking about the main people that control the industry, not just, film, music, television, just the industry, this big conglomerate, because, they've swallowed up everything. There really is no more independence out here. It's all like a Borg collective.
Well, there is a little bit of independence because...
Sure it is, but it's not enough to make a difference.
Well, I'm speaking specifically about you and your very successful show, Weird True Hollywood Tales.
Yeah, I mean, my stories are just basically, the show is the same story every show.
Some celebrity had way too much money, got crazy.
No, we go all the way back. We go back. We show what it was like when they were like struggling and what they had to go through to get to that point. See, these people that we cover in the show, they're not just, your everyday C-list, D-list. These are like mega people who had huge, huge personalities, huge careers. And it's like, how do they go from that to being dead in a bathtub in some random hotel? And so we examine what went wrong. Like, we start from the beginning.
So now we've got a show coming up in January.
Yes.
Right? January
17th.
What's the theme for this show?
The season premiere is called Bad Dad, TV's most scandalous daddies. And this is all dads from the 20th century that were on television that their career has come into some type of scandalous ruin.
Now, are we going to see anything about Bill Cosby?
Oh, he's the headliner.
Okay.
We got him. We got Willie from Alf.
Uh-oh. What kind of scandal did he run into?
Ooh.
I got to go to the show.
You got to go to the show. I was just like, the pictures were scandalous. It was like, oh, Willie, homeless dudes?
Really? Now, yeah, I've got to go.
And of course, the dad from Seventh Heaven.
That just recently
happened. We cover all 20th century stories. So just so happens his show got in right under the wire in the mid to late 90s.
So we missed the Halloween episode.
Yes.
Who was the headliner?
It was all Hollywood ghost stories, and the headliner was Left Eye from TLC.
Okay.
It was a crazy story.
Is it a real story?
Yeah, like all of the stories we do are real. Like, that's the great thing about the show, is that these people's lives are so sensational, you don't have to add anything to it.
There's no joke. It's just tell the script, tell the story as it transpired.
With a comedic twist, but it's nothing like we make up things.
Right.
Yeah, this is all like thoroughly researched. We take at least 2 to 3 months to research each biography that we do. So it's a very like in-depth show.
And you have local comics that come in and tell these stories, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so you're writing the script for them, or
Nope.
They write them?
I give them the topic. I let them pick who they want to talk about, and I'm like, so, I got a list of people here, and usually the people that they pick are someone like they're fans of, and they're like, oh, wow, and then they get done, and then they have this really sad look like, I didn't even know this dude was like this.
The veil's pulled away.
Yeah. Or they come away having like a much deeper appreciation for their art, whether it's music or their film or whatever. So it's a good show.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll let me in for free.
You can come in for free.
All right. I'm very poor. So who's your favorite celebrity? Like if you had to pick one.
Out of the show?
Yeah, like that you've researched.
Oh man, I always talk about this. It's a tie. It's a tie between Marvin Gaye and the Beach Boys.
Just as a whole.
As a whole.
The most wholesome band in America.
Were crazy as hell. No offense, Mike Love. Where's the Yeah. They've got a story. Their story haunted me, like literally, for 2 months after I did it the first time.
What was so dark about their story? I mean, just the drug use, the alcoholism.
It was everything. It was the descent into mental illness that Brian Wilson went into. It was the Charlie Manson, Dennis Wilson connection.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And just the seedy side of the record industry, like in the 60s when everybody thought LA was this beautiful, wholesome place, and it was just like this underbelly of just all kinds of bad stuff. And it was just really disturbing.
Yeah, well, I've always said the East Coast was built, by the Puritans, and then the West Coast was built by a bunch of risk takers and prospectors. And
it shows.
Yeah. And you just got to make sure that you're not in the pan, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Getting sifted.
So now Christmas is coming up. Christmas is right around the corner.
Yes.
What's Christmas like in the Lester household?
We don't go all out for Christmas. We celebrate when our income tax come in.
Okay, so in April.
Nah, mama be on that shit,
early.
and like whenever the mailman show up, that's when I'm on it.
Okay, I turned my taxes in April 15th, so.
No, man, as soon as it come, it's like I'm on the computer at taxact.com, logging in, like hello.
Now you got a son.
Yes.
What kind of lies do you tell your son during the holidays?
I don't tell my son lies. I keep it real.
Yeah.
I don't believe, I know some people like, you don't tell him about Santa Claus. No, I don't tell my son about Santa Claus. He needs to understand mama and daddy is out here working hard to give this to you, not some random white dude in a suit. This is us.
Well, do you envy those parents that are without conscience able to lie to their kids and say, if you're not good, you're not going to get anything, you're going to be on the naughty nice list?
I'm not going to criticize anybody else's parenting because that's them. In my house, we don't do that. I'm about keeping it real because I don't want to lie to my child and then, years later, he finds out, like all this stuff I told him was just lies. I need you to know you can come to me and I'm going to keep it real with you.
Oh, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. And I don't have any kids, so I can't say whether I would or wouldn't lie to them. If I was a betting man, which I am, I'd say I probably will lie to them if I have. So
I won't judge you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Sports, do you care?
I'm ride or die Detroit.
Okay.
Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers, even the Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tigers didn't do too bad this year.
No, I still have their T-shirts. Like when I wear their T-shirts, whether they win it or not. But yeah, I keep up. My granddad is a big fan, so he keeps me posted on all the games.
Yeah, and then at least even though you're in Texas, at least you'll always get the Lions on TV for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So you've got that going for you.
Yes.
So lots of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I don't want to go too deep into it, but let's say you're elected president. Okay, Lashonda Lester, step up to the podium, give us the State of the Union right now.
The State of the Union would probably be like, I can't believe y'all elected me. What the hell? Did y'all not dig deep enough? More jokes. We need more laughter.
Yeah.
We have to deal with a lot of stuff that's going on. Like that's the problem. I think a lot of people don't want to discuss, like have a real discussion because it's such a deep, complicated history of racism in this country. Like black people and white people, we're all like, we got this really deep ingrained relationship and, nobody wants to talk about it. And so we cover it up with, I'm going to like this picture so that, I can feel better about myself without actually doing stuff.
Yeah. And it's gotten worse with social media because we can pretend to be an advocate or an activist from our couch.
Yeah, now see, I was real active when we went to war in 2003. See, my birthday's September 11th. So after that happened, I was just very like, I was jarred awake like, well, what the hell happened? And so, I did my own little research and things, and I became very politically active. I was out here in the marches. When I moved to Austin, I was always at the anti-war marches and stuff. And then I got discouraged because we would have people that would come out there with signs for all kinds of other different stuff. Like, you got PETA people, which, hey, if you want to save animals, that's cool, but we here for the war.
Right.
So it's...
On your own time.
Right. And so for me, I was very surprised that it didn't look like the 60s when, all this stuff began. And now it's just all this other stuff. It's just like a snowball rolling downhill. It's just picking up stuff as it goes. It's just super big. And I think people, they don't really know what to do. And what they do is they click like on pictures.
Is it possible that with the tragic events, and unfortunately, some of these rallies are because somebody died.
Yeah, I mean, but
is this gonna wake people up?
No, I don't believe it. Maybe that's the cynical comic in me. But I mean, what is a rally gonna do if you're not doing any follow up on it?
Right.
If there isn't any real dialogue that follows the rally. I mean, anybody can go out and march and stuff, but it's like, are y'all sitting down to a table and are you really discussing what the problem is? Or are we just doing a bunch of PR stuff? And,
I feel that the momentum, the folks going out there showing that they're angry is a good start, but there needs to be leadership.
It's always a good start. And
is there any leadership to get to the negotiating table to start putting solutions in place?
Well, you'll have people that want to be leaders, but then once again, they get seduced by the cameras. And so they begin to lose focus on what's important, and then they just start putting themselves ahead. Not calling out anybody in particular, but, I'm going to just say...
I wish you would. I'm
going to just say Reverend Al. I mean, Al Sharpton, I'm sure in his personal life, he's a good dude. But it just doesn't seem like, I mean, maybe he has done great things for the movement. I don't know, but it just seems as though when you're supposed to be the leader of a movement, you're taking a job at CNN, what is that really doing? The time you're spending on cameras talking about stuff, why are you not sitting at a table, with other people like, this is what we want, this is the plan we're going to have?
Demanding a Senate inquiry, pushing for, do we want cameras on all the cops?
Yeah, something of substance. And I just feel like, that's what a lot of the young people are kind of fed up with, the last generation of civil rights people. And so these kids, they don't have what that last generation had. They don't have that real strong, powerful leadership movement. Because people think it was just Dr. King. Like, yeah, he was out there, but he had a very strong network of people that were actually working. The bus boycotts, they took more than a year. It wasn't like a 2-3 month thing. So we don't have that determination because people are too caught up on Instagram and Facebook. There's so many other distractions. These people didn't have distractions like that in the 60s.
Videos about cats.
Right.
Yeah.
All the stuff to placate people. So,
There was a great video today. I don't know if you saw it, but it was 4 quadruplets. And the father was making a noise and they were all laughing. Oh, it was hilarious.
See, now why would you not want to watch that? Why would you want to go out and try to make things happen?
So you got a history in the activism side. You were there in the trenches. Any chance we see you joining the political ranks?
No. No
answers coming from Lashonda?
No. I'll come play your event. I'll come do jokes at the event for free, you know what I mean? But no, I'm not going to be out there.
Okay. Well, where people can find. They're not going to find you on the campaign circuit.
No.
They can find you at Weird True Hollywood Tales.
Yeah, Weird True Tales. Can I tell the website?
Yes.
WeirdTrueTales.com.
WeirdTrueTales.com, and that's on January 17th.
Yes.
And you are also going to be teaching some free comedy classes.
Yes, I'm going to be teaching a free comedy workshop.
And this is going to be the only one that's free. It's going to fill up and...
I hope so. I hope people that, because we've got an exploding comedy scene.
Absolutely.
And, I've just noticed some behaviors from some of the new people. And I was like, well, maybe these people just don't know. So the workshop I'm doing is basically kind of like before you get to the mic, what makes a person want to be a comic, and, hey, these are some etiquette you should probably follow if you would like to be a part of the community and not be ostracized.
Well, I'll probably be there, okay, because I could use some help. We're also going to put your Twitter down here, okay?
I rarely use Twitter.
I know you do, but it's okay. So that's one way people can get in touch with you. I don't want to send them to your Facebook page.
They can come there.
Okay, find her on Facebook too. Lashonda Lester, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jimmy.
We'll see you real soon.
It was good to see you.